Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I'm telling you the best thing to borrow. Are you ready? Let's get started. Listen, in our lives, we borrow all sorts of things, probably more than we think, right? You might borrow a book to read. You might borrow a cup of flour or a couple of eggs if you're making a cake. You might borrow a power tool. You might borrow a pencil. You might borrow someone's eyeglasses if you really are having trouble reading something. I don't know. And you've also likely borrowed money to make a large purchase. So in each case, we borrowed something because we don't have that thing, but we could use that thing. Having it right now helps us get through a situation, accomplish something, whatever. And then later, we either return the item or we replace the thing we borrowed. So that's how borrowing works, right? Some people are good borrowers. They're willing to ask for help. Others are less likely to ask, even if the thing they're going to borrow could be a big help and not even a problem for the lender. Today, what I want to share with you, especially it's for all of us, but especially if you are sometimes reticent or reluctant to ask, recognize that this thing that you can borrow is a great example. It can help you and isn't a problem for the lender. In fact, they might love lending it to you. Here's the thing we can borrow: other people's belief in us. So why should we borrow other people's belief in us? Well, sometimes our confidence is low, right? Our belief bank has a negative balance, and we just aren't sure about how we're doing. And encouragement, recognition, any of those kinds of things that we could borrow other people's belief in us can get our confidence level up to a safe or healthy level. Well, why else can we borrow other people's belief? Well, to get started. Because sometimes we have an idea, we have a project, and we're procrastinating, we're waiting, we're not sure, and someone else's belief could be the thing that can help us get the ball rolling. And sometimes once the project is going on, once we're doing something, we're in process, and then we get stuck or we see a barrier. And so other people's confidence can help us to persevere. Having someone else behind us, being a cheerleader for us, showing us examples of us being successful in the past, any of these things, their belief can help us get started, keep us going, and build our confidence. And so you've borrowed their belief, and then what happens next? Just like borrowing anything else, after we borrow the eggs, we need to return the eggs or return the piece of cake, right? So what do? Well, we should be ready and willing to pay it back. That person who we borrowed belief from may need ours in them sometime. And in fact, because of the first exchange, you might be all the more willing to share it with them, maybe even if they don't always be willing to pay it back. And sometimes you don't need to pay it back, or the timing isn't right to pay it back, so you can always pay it forward. Be ready to be a lender of your belief in others, regardless of whether you've borrowed from them in the past or not. Let me close with today's remarkable reminder. Maybe the most important thing you could borrow is someone's belief in you. Don't be afraid to ask for it. One of the things I just suggested that you might borrow or lend is a book. I've got a book for you to consider. It's our new book, the second edition of The Long Distance Leader, now called The Long Distance Leader: Revised Rules for Remarkable Remote and Hybrid Leadership. If you lead a remote team, a hybrid team, or if you want to be a more effective leader both now and in the future, you should have a copy. And maybe you should order two, so you have one that you can lend to somebody else. You can learn more and get your copy at kevineikenberry.com/LDL or wherever you buy your books. Hope you'll do that. And I hope you'll be back next week for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.